Good morning. My name's Clare Johnston, and I'm the founder and chief exec of the Up Group. And I'm here this morning to discuss some of the themes and lessons learned from 2013 of hiring in digital and in hiring during a phase of hypergrowth. But before I do, a quick bit about us. For those of you who don't know, we are an exec search firm that really specializes in the digital space. And we have enjoyed and have been privileged to build the senior management teams of many of the most exciting pre-IPO through to listed companies and senior exec teams. We do this across the board: product, marketing, technology, general management, you name it. I think we've seen it, and certainly seen it in 2013. And we've done it for many very familiar names, brands. So some fantastic companies such as Wonga, Klarna, King, Mind Candy, Moo, right through to some of the global greats such as Google, Facebook, and eBay. So 2013, what have we seen? For us, there's probably 4 key themes. This has been the year of the marketeer. Now, without doubt, we've seen an incredibly buoyant market. Every company, every shape, size, has been hiring across the board, but marketing has really stood out for us. Marketing is an interesting one. It's absolutely changed over the last few years. I'm sure many of you relate. The demands on the marketing function and the senior marketing exec now are very, very different. A few years ago, we were tasked frequently with finding the marketing director or the CMO who knows how to operate across all online channels, performance marketing. That is no longer enough. I'm sure everyone sat in the audience today is thinking about brand. Brand is absolutely key. How one builds a brand digitally in a cost-efficient manner. Now, what that means for the senior marketing exec is that they have to be, on one hand, highly analytical, numerate, technology savvy, thinking about how to cost-effectively use those performance channels. But on the other hand, they have to be creative, innovative, think about how they operate offline, online, how they integrate. That's a big ask. And there isn't a plethora of senior marketing talent out there who can really span that entire remit. So what's it meant? It's meant that the function is in demand, there's a rare skill set, and therefore it costs. So I have to break it to many of my chief exec clients that they're going to have to pay more than they used to pay for this kind of talent. We have without doubt seen salaries escalate. And as I touched upon, this brand piece is absolutely key. We're having to be more creative about where we derive this kind of marketing talent. And there's an implication, of course, for the marketing teams, the structures. We spend an increasing amount of time with our clients now actually discussing with them the shape of the marketing team. Should it be a centralized team? How do you cope with the fact that you're becoming international? You've got multi-brands, multi-geographies, multi-products. What does that mean for your marketing team? Is it actually appropriate to have one CMO anymore? Actually, do you need to divide up the leadership roles in itself? The elusive product manager. So when I set this business up in 2006, I'll be honest, I wasn't really talking about product management an awful lot. I knew that they were talking about it a lot in the US, certainly existed there. My clients in the UK, Europe weren't talking about it a great deal. That is no longer the case. It is a daily discussion. Our understanding in Europe of what product means is certainly evolving. And we've got some fantastic product talent, let's be honest. But it's still pretty immature. There's still a limited talent pool. We've witnessed many companies having to be very, very creative about where they source this kind of talent from. And I think it's fair to say we spend a lot of time in the US with senior product managers, CPOs, VP products, et cetera, because there is a stronger talent pool, frankly, of people who have seen product management at scale in the US. It's an obvious thing to say. But what we've also seen is that as we have got this fantastic array, and many are present here today, of successful UK and European businesses that are scaling and really will be global players in years to come, the founder can no longer take that role or retain the role of being the senior product lead only. They're having to think more seriously about bringing in chief product officers and building out that product capability and genuinely handing over the reins. So we're actually seeing that founders are becoming more comfortable with hiring CPOs. And I know that we've been involved with some very interesting appointments of bringing over CPOs from the US, Europe, into UK-based digital businesses. So many of you will smile when you see this, because I'm sure many of you have considered this role yourself or tried to hire for it. It's the role of VP International, or MD Europe. I've spoken with so many cynical execs about this position over the years. Many people believe that this is just the outpost for a US business, and that a US company simply wants to hire a fairly junior salesperson to launch in Europe. We've seen that change, actually, increasingly over the last about 18 months. There are more and more successful US-based or overseas venture-backed digital companies that are coming to Europe, and they want to hire genuine execs. They're actually committed to building a genuine business here. And that means they need an MD or a chief exec. So we've seen a real shift. We've seen overseas businesses becoming really quite serious about this appointment. They've really upweighted it. We're seeing boards and investors flying in to really engage this senior talent in a way that they never did. And knock-on impact is we're seeing that compensation packages have increased an awful lot. We have to take to the table to these MDs, these CEOs, serious packages, because there are some exciting businesses here. They could be with a standalone European business, so why should they join that US headquartered business? A lot of this and successful hiring this comes to these honest conversations and about that genuine engagement. So 2013 has definitely been a year of new roles, new priorities. It's certainly the first time that we have put our chief people officer in place, chief talent officers, chief data officers. To be frank, we weren't doing that even a year ago. We've seen some of these positions really get the focus and attention, I'm sure, that, well, of course they deserve, and actually moving to C-level roles. Technology, which probably warrants its own slide, but I've been told to keep this short today, so I'm going to bundle it in. But technology certainly warrants a big discussion. CTO was the catch-all for your senior technology leader. But this year, we've seen our clients become more thoughtful about what that really means, more thoughtful about the stage in their life cycle, where they're at, and actually the type of person that is suited to their business and to their technology challenges. We've seen them ask questions around, actually, in all honesty, are we really a technology-led business? Is this about having bleeding-edge innovation and that innovative tech leader? Or actually, that's not the case here, but what we really need is genuine people leadership in this function. We've got some fantastic developers, but they need leadership, they need management, and we need to get a more robust and reliable delivery process in place. So it's just been interesting, the shift in that. And again, we've seen more and more businesses in Europe upweighting and hiring in some really world-class tech talent. It's been really exciting to witness. There are a few that are about to break as well. And at last, we've seen new roles, just the titles that we simply weren't using. I thought it was great to see that The Guardian have hired their first growth hacker. I'm increasingly starting to talk about chief experience officers. In the Valley, in the US, I'm sure that's commonplace, but we weren't having those conversations. This will only increase. We're going to see new titles emerging as basically we get more mature, sophisticated businesses. They get closer to understanding their key drivers. So I thought I'd impart a couple of lessons learned and hints and tips for you. Do with them what you will. But certainly 2 lessons that we've learned this year and we tried to share with clients. Hiring fast. There is nobody in this room that doesn't want to hire fast, ourselves included. You've got aggressive investors and an aggressive market and competitive landscape. You've got an awful lot to do quickly, and most people think that means you need to hire, hire, hire. More people means you're going to get more done. Yes and no. Making a bad hire has such a huge impact on organizations, more so than people realize. We have seen companies who are really investing the time up front to think about what they need are the ones who are hiring smart. They're getting it right. Too many times, companies think there is an urgency to hire, and they go to market with an ill-thought-out brief. They haven't thought about their structure, if it really accommodates the type of person they're trying to hire. whether it's actually going to be credible when we start engaging these execs, whether they're really going to buy into this role. So I urge you to spend time up front really thinking about what you need, distilling that to skill sets, thinking really where this skill set can be derived as well, because there's a lot of creativity that needs to happen, which I'll come on to. But it is better to have a gap than make a bad hire. Again, we've really seen the impact of this. We've seen companies put back by about a year from just simply hiring the wrong individual. It takes longer than you realize to unpick that bad hire. So force yourself to slow down. Again, an obvious thing to say. But organizations such as Google, who we all maybe are skeptical, cynical about sometimes about their 13-round interview process that I'm sure many of you will have heard about or experienced. But actually, they're kind of smart, because having 13 rounds means you can't do it that quickly. So force yourself to build in processes, mechanisms that make you really think about that hire. Maybe that isn't just layering on people. Maybe that is making sure you've got a hiring committee that you have to drive consensus from a number of people in your organization. And the last one, I hope we all do it, but I've been guilty of not, so I'm sure you have too, which is referencing. I can't stress this enough. We don't just take formal references, we get market views, do the same. Absolutely reference. Doesn't matter how much you've just fallen in love with that individual, you are convinced they're the right hire for you, just check it out. Make sure you do your referencing. This will be something that I'm sure, again, everyone can relate to. Seeking an A player with a C budget. We all want to hire that rock star, and most of us can't afford to do so. So what can you do about it? Nobody wants to dumb down on quality. So what about compromising on seniority? Many times our clients are saying, we need that guy with 20 years experience who's done X, Y, and Z, but literally we've got 50K to throw at them. It's not going to work. So what about thinking about finding that really bright, ambitious up-and-comer who's got the right skill sets, they just haven't been given the break yet? They're going to be so motivated to nail that role, and quite often you get a fantastic, fantastic appointment, albeit it might not have been the seniority you thought you went to market thinking you'd hire. Secondly, I'm going to speed up now, I've got 2 minutes, expand the role. Sometimes you can hire that heavyweight person for what seems like a more junior role for them if you're just simply creative, flex. Change that role to accommodate. If you've found your rock star, do whatever it takes to get on board. And third, negotiate creatively. I've moved people for 50% less salaries, for sure, and that is all about getting under the skin of people's motivations. It's not all just about cash package. It's obviously the upside, but it also goes beyond that. People really feel motivated by such a different range of things, but understand how to really engage with them, and I'm sure you're going to make some fantastic hires off the back of that. So 2014, well, I don't know about you, but we think it's going to have to be the year of creative problem solving. There simply isn't enough talent right now to really support the growth of so many fantastic businesses. So we're going to have to get smart and creative and think about where else we can drive this skill set. So that's enough from me. I'm pleased to say there are 5 people upstairs this afternoon on our panel who are far better placed and better qualified, more qualified than me to talk about this topic. So please join us upstairs to hear from Robin Klein, Ed Ray, Andrew Cantor, Orna Holland, and Dimitrios Zopos from One Fine Stay, all about how they have successfully scaled businesses from early stage to late stage, all the challenges, the pitfalls of hiring fantastic digital talent. Thank you very much.